Hello everyone, very good evening. I welcome you all at India's most comprehensive preparation platform for all competitive exam, and it is BYJU'S Exam Prep. So guys, in today's session, we are going to discuss few problems on the concept of structured query language. So this query language is actually a non-procedural query language. You just need to understand the syntax, that how those syntax can be written to perform a particular task. Okay, so let's move ahead. This is a brief introduction of myself. I have 10 plus years of experience, secured 393 rank in GATE 2010, joined IIT Delhi for MTech, qualified GATE exam multiple times afterwards, mentored more than 20,000 of students, and the areas of expertise. So there is an announcement for you guys that we are coming with ISRO and NIELIT preparation with the series which is related to most expected questions for ISRO and NIELIT. This series is going to start from 12th of June. So if you want to enjoy this series, then do subscribe for the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the notification. Also, we are coming with a beautiful series called Trickopedia, in which we are going to discuss some very smart and small tricks which will be very helpful during the examination time. And one most important notification, that BYJU'S Exam Prep is going to conduct a national scholarship test on 11th of June, that is on Sunday at 12 p.m. Do register for this particular national scholarship test and appear for it. You may get up to 90% off on the different programs of GATE at BYJU'S Exam Prep application. Okay. So this is just the information about the classes which are going on the application. So currently I am taking the basic concept, very small and basic concepts of discrete mathematics on the app. Tomorrow we will discuss the concept of lattice and Hasse diagram at 9 a.m. So if you guys are interested, then if you are new, then then install the application and register for it so that you can join the session. Now let's move with the series. Let's move with the question. So very first question, very easy question. The very first question is always easy. So give me the answer. If an SQL query involves three different operations, not, and or, with no parenthesis. So you all know that the precedence will be defined in general by the parenthesis, but if there is no parenthesis, then what will be the order of evaluation of those operators? What's the answer? फटाफट से आंसर बताओ, फटाफट से आंसर दो. What will be the answer? It's a very easy question. Should not take that much amount of time for this. I cannot see this answer. So let's see. The precedence wise, if you check, the precedence is highest for this unary not operation. Precedence will be highest. So if I define the precedence of not is highest, then the precedence of and, if you have and or operation, then the precedence of and will be higher than the precedence of or gate. So the highest precedence will be for not, then for and finally for or. So what will be the order of evaluation? First not will be evaluated, then and will be evaluated, and in the last or gate will be evaluated. So you need to know the order of precedence of different operators. Clear? So the correct answer for this is A, the very simple question. Now you also need to see, when I was going through all the different NIELIT papers, I observed one thing. Please, if you guys are planning to appear in the NIELIT or ISRO exam, then please don't leave the previous year questions of GATE. Almost 60% questions, 50% at least, almost 50% questions which require some knowledge are basically the previous year questions of GATE itself. So if any question in the NIELIT requires some knowledge, then most probably it will be from the previous year questions of GATE exam. So just make sure that you have gone through all the questions of previous year GATE papers before you appear in the NIELIT. So this is again, so today I was searching for the questions of SQL and I came to know that all the questions which I am discussing are actually from GATE. So let's look at this. This is a question from NIELIT. The following table has two attributes X and Y. X and Y, where X is the primary key and Y is the foreign key, referencing X with on delete cascade. So the thing which is being used is on delete cascade. So we have three different concepts. What? On delete, no action, on delete, set null, on delete, cascade. So on delete, no action means if because of deletion of a tuple any referential integrity violation occurs, then you are not allowed to delete the tuple. On delete, on delete, set null is a situation when you delete a tuple and it causes any integrity violation, then wherever it causes integrity violation, at those places you will set the value as null. But the logic is that you are allowed to set the value as null only if that attribute is allowed to take the null values. Clear? If the attribute is not allowed to take the null values, you are not allowed to do it. Now, another thing is wherever this on next one is on delete cascade. So, if integrity violation occurs because of deletion of a tuple, then also delete the tuples where violation is occurring because of deletion of the tuple. So let's try to understand. The set of all tuples that must be additionally deleted to preserve referential integrity when the tuple 3, 4. So we are actually deleting this tuple 3, 4. Correct Linux? Expected date we cannot say, but it will be by the end of in the July or August, not before that. Okay, so 3, 4 is being deleted. So let's try to understand. This is a primary key, X is a primary key of this relation, and this Y is a foreign key. Y is a foreign key. So what's the use of foreign key? Foreign key actually references the primary key of the same table or some other table. So in this scenario, it is referencing these keys are referencing the primary key of the same table. So this is your primary key and your foreign key is referring to the primary key of the same table. Now the idea is, if you delete this tuple, then you actually understand that this value 3, wherever this 3 is appearing in the foreign key, see, as long as 3 is present in this primary key attribute, then only you can use this value 3 at the as the value in the foreign key. So this 3, if this 3 is being deleted, then there is no other 3. Obviously there cannot be any other 3 as it is a primary key. So all the values must be distinct. So the moment you delete this 3, 4, wherever you get 3, those tuples will also be deleted. So here you have a 3 here. So this Y is actually referring to a tuple where the value of X is 3, but there is no tuple in the relation where X is 3 once you have deleted this tuple. So you cannot refer and you cannot use a value which is not present in the primary key set. So you will have to delete this tuple. Now because you have deleted this, you also need to delete the tuples. Wherever this 4 is present at the place of foreign key. Clear? So there are two 4s. One is this 2, 4 and this 6, 4. I can see 2, right? So when you delete this 3, 4. Okay, so let's see. Very good thing. Very good. Do we have 3, 2 here? No, sir. We don't have 3, 2. So if we delete this, perhaps the answer which are available in the options may not be correct. And this is the scenario with the exact paper as well. So don't worry. So once you delete this tuple, 3, 4 is deleted. You need to delete the tuples in which foreign key value is 3. So you need to delete this tuple. Once you delete this, you also need to delete the tuples in which foreign key value is 4. So you'll have to delete this tuple as well as this tuple. Yes or no? Linux, do you understand? Linux, do you understand? The moment you delete this tuple 3, 4, you will also have to delete the tuple 4, 3. That's for sure. You need to delete 4, 3. The moment you delete 4, 3, you also need to delete the tuples in which this 4 is present as at the place of primary key. So you will have to delete this tuple. So when you delete this, you will lose this. Also, the 4 is present at this place. So you will also delete the tuple 6, 4. You will also delete the tuple 6, 4. So you will delete the tuple. First of all, you will delete the tuple 4, 3. Because of deletion of tuple 4, 3, you will have to delete the tuples 2, 4 and 6, 4. I hope you understand this. Right? 2, 4 and 6, 4. When you delete 2, 4 and 6, 4, you will eventually realize that 2 is deleted from the primary key set, and because of this 6, 4, 6 is also deleted from this primary key set. 6 is also deleted from this primary key set. Now the idea is, because this 2 is deleted, from the set of primary key, this 5, 2 will also get deleted. So because of this, you will also have to delete 5, 2. Clear? You will have to delete 5, 2. And do we have 2 anywhere else? Yes, you will also have to delete 7, 2. You will also have to delete 7, 2. Clear? So you will have to delete 2. If 2, 4 is deleted, 5, 2 will be deleted, as well as 7, 2 will be deleted. So this is gone. 7, 2 is also gone. Now the idea is, because you have deleted this 5, 2, because of this 5, 2, you will also have to delete the tuple in which 5 is appearing at the foreign key attribute. So you will also have to delete 9, 5 because of that. You will also have to delete 9, 5. Yes or no? So perhaps there is no option given in the exam. Perhaps there is no option given in the, so I would say no option given which is corresponding to the correct tuple deletion. But you just need to understand the concept of on delete cascade. If you delete this tuple 3, 4, then because of 3, 4, you will have to delete 4, 3. The moment you delete 4, 3, you will have to delete 2, 4 and 6, 4. The moment you delete 2, 4, you will also have to delete 7, 5, 2 and 7, 2. And because you have deleted 4, 2, because of that, you will also have to delete 4, 2 is deleted. No, 3, 2, 5. Yeah, because you have deleted this 5, 2, you will also have to delete 9, 5. Clear? So how many tuples are deleted in the given table? In the given table, forget about these options which are available in the question paper, because if they copy something from somewhere and if any value is changed, if you randomly change any value, then the effect of that change may be significant on the question. Right? So similar type of question has arrived in the GATE exam, but they might have changed some values, and because of that, so many tuples are being deleted. If you delete 3, 4, then all the tuples of this relation will get deleted. Do you understand this? If we delete this 3, 4, and if we are using on delete cascade, then all the tuples of the relation will get deleted. Do you understand that? Yes or no? Do you understand this? Agreed? अरे बोल तो दो. Clear है? We are not worried about the options given in the exam. We just need to understand the right concept. Just because 4, 3 and 6, 4 are being deleted, it does not mean that this is the correct answer. Other pairs may also be getting deleted and the options of the question may not be correct. Clear? Okay, let's move ahead. Let's move. Give me the, let's look at this question peacefully. too much information in the question, but the solution is quite easy. So look at the question. Given the following schema, so what do we have? We have an employee schema in which the attributes are employee ID, first name of the employee, last name of the employee, the date when he was hired, the department in which he is working, and the salary which he is receiving. Similarly, we have a table named department in which we have the department ID, the name of the department, the manager ID, who is the manager of the department, and the location of that department, where exactly it is, or the location ID. You can eventually give the numbers to the location, right? You want to display, let's look at this. You want to display the last names. What names? Last names. You want to display the last names and hire dates of all latest hires in their respective departments in the location ID 1700. So understand the question. What do you want to retrieve from this tables? You want to retrieve the last name of the employee and hire date of the employee who were hired latest, or who were most lately hired with respect to department number, with respect to location ID 1700 in the individual departments. What the idea? So what do we need to calculate? We actually need, so let's see, should I give you an example for this? Yeah, move ahead. The options are anyway on the different table. Options are anyway on the different page, because I cannot put too much information on a single page. So it is actually saying that the query which is being written in the SQL is this. So what is the outcome of this query? What is the outcome of this query? So anyway, these are the options available. It is saying that the query will execute but does not give the correct result. It says it will execute and gives the correct result. It generates an error because pairwise comparison. Can we do pairwise comparison? That's what we need to understand. It generates an error because group by clause cannot be used with table joins in a subquery. So what do you say? What is allowed in SQL and what is not allowed in SQL? So just look at the query. So the easiest thing to process, to understand the SQL is you just need to understand the order of execution of the SQL query. So what happens? Do we have any inner query in this case? Do we have any inner query? So let's look at this. This is your inner query. This is your inner query. Do this is the bracket which starts. So perhaps we have skipped some bracket, but let me correct this. This is the select clause. Select department ID, comma, max of the hire date from the employee, from the join of the employee and department using the department ID. So the join operation which you need to perform is based on the department ID. Based on the department ID is present in the department as well as in the employee, right? See, department name is not present in the employee, manager ID is not present in the employee, location ID is not present in the employee. So even if you don't write this using department ID, natural join, you need to understand the natural join. If he is not writing natural join, then he is using what? So by default, natural join will be performed based on the equality condition on the common attribute. So it is saying perform the join operation using department ID. We understand this concept. Now, so you need to perform this you need to perform this join operation, and in this join operation, wherever location ID is 1700 based on the department ID. So first of all, what will happen? First of all, you will perform the where clause, or first of all, you will group them based on the department ID. What will you do first? Tell me. See, the very first thing which you need to understand is, can we use any other attribute along with the aggregate function in the select clause. Tell me, what am I asking? Can we use the attribute in the select clause along with the aggregate function? Can we do this? Can we use the attribute name along with the aggregate function in the select clause? Can we do this? And if we can do this, what is the condition for that? If we can do this, what is the condition for that? See, if you do not write this group by department ID clause in this query, then this will generate an error. If you do not write this group by department ID clause in this particular query, then this will generate an error. Why? You are not allowed to use the name of any other attribute along with aggregate operation in the select clause until that attribute is not present in the group by clause, until that operator is not present in the group by clause. So here you can safely use this attribute department ID in the select clause with this max hire date, because this attribute is present in the group by clause. Okay, so now let's move ahead. So this is the query which is present in front of you, and these are the different tables along with their attributes. So what will happen? So when you will perform the join operation of employee with a department, what will happen? The employees whose department ID is the same for that particular department, they will be combined with each other. So you may have a department ID. So it's quite tricky to understand. Let me create two tables. One is employee, another is department. In employee table, an employee can work in more than one let's assume this is your employee E1. This works in department D1. Come on, this works in department D1. There's another employee E2 who also works in department D1. So it's possible that more than one employee works in the same department. Similarly, here if you look at the department table, then it's a department table. The idea is it's a department table, so department ID will be unique. Yes or no? It's a department table, so department ID will be unique. It's an employee table, therefore employee ID will be unique. So though it is not given in the question, but you need to understand that this employee ID is the primary key and this department ID is the primary key of department table. Employee ID is the primary key of employee table. Department ID is the primary key of department table. Yes or no? These two things are fixed. So therefore, if the department ID is the primary key, then there will be a single tuple with respect to department D1. There will be a single tuple with respect to department D2. There will be a single tuple with respect to department D3 and so on. Clear? So that's the idea. So this will be the situation. Now let's look at this, that all this department are at location 1700. Assume that all this department D1, D2, D3 are at location 1700. And this employee D1 was hired at some date 2, and this employee DE2 was hired at some date 4. I am not writing the complete date, we just need to understand the concept, right? So this is the date at which they were hired. This is the date at which they were hired. Now when you perform the join of employee with a department, what will happen? The employee of a particular department will be combined with the row of that department. So E1 is of department D1, therefore E1 will be combined with row of department D1. E2 is also of department D1, therefore E2 will be combined with row of D1. Now let's assume that there is an employee E3 which belongs to department D3, then this E3 will be combined with the row of department D3. That's what happens when you perform the join operation. Means if employee E1 is of department D1, then you will eventually come to know if department D1 is at location 1700. In the employee table, we don't have any information about the location ID of that department. Yes or no? So, if at all E1 is from department D1, then first of all we need to know whether department D1 is at location 1700 or not. Right? So, in this table, when you perform this department ID, based on this department ID, when you group this, you are simply doing this for one purpose. You are simply doing this for one purpose, because in select clause you want two attributes. In select clause you want two attributes. What are those two attributes? Department ID and hire date. Department ID and hire date, because it is using the operation in. So whatever is the department ID and hire date, whatever is the department ID and hire date in the employee table for a corresponding employee, he just need to check whether that department ID or hire date is in this inside query or not. Right? So just tell me what will be produced by this inner query. What will be produced? Just look at the brackets. So you just need one extra bracket here. You just need one extra bracket. I was actually trying to balance this brackets because this is an inner query. This is an inner query. So here this select clause starts and here this select clause ends. So this, whatever is inside this braces is basically your inner query. So what will be produced by this inner query? That's what I want to know. Can you please give me the answer that what will be produced by this inner query? Let's look at this. What will happen when you perform the employee table, the join of employee table with a department? So there will be exactly those many tuples as the number of tuples in the employee table. Why? Because department IDs are unique. Department IDs are unique in the department table, and this department ID is actually a foreign key in the employee table which refers the primary key department ID of the table department. So there cannot be any department ID in the employee table which is not present in the department table itself. There cannot be any department ID in the employee table which is not present in the department ID field of department itself. Otherwise, it will be an integrity violation. What the idea? So, whosoever the employee is, if he is a part of a department, that department must exist in the table departments. What are the different departments? Right? So, every employee will have a single department. One employee, we are considering one employee is not working in multiple departments. Every employee will have a single department, but multiple employees can work in the same department. So every employee with respect to that department ID will be combined with the tuple with respect to that department ID. So every tuple of employee table will be combined with exactly one tuple of department table. Every tuple of employee table will be combined with exactly one tuple of department table. Don't look at the answer. I can give you the answer in a shorter way as well, right? But that's the more intuitive understanding of this thing. We are only going to solve 3 or 4 questions, so we actually need to understand as much as possible. We try to learn as much as possible, right? So here, when you say select department ID, so you will have a department ID. So once you group this, in this join, so you need to understand that in the department table, department ID is unique. In the department table, department ID is unique. But once you have performed this join operation, because this is from where you are looking at the things. So in this output of this join, there will be multiple tuples with respect to same department. Let me explain this. When you join this, this E1 with the department D1 will be combined E1 with department D1 whose hiring date is 2 will be combined with this 1700. Obviously, distinct tuples, employee ID will come, these two are same, therefore they will appear only once. The date of hiring will come from department, its location ID will come, and so on. Now, for E2 as well, it is D1. So, for E2 also, it is D1 and the hiring date is 4. He is also from location ID 1700. Now, for E3, the department is D3, therefore it will be combined with department number D3. So, E3, D3, let's say its hiring date is 6. Let's assume its hiring date is 6. So, hiring date is 6 and let's assume the department is 1700. Let's consider one more tuple, E4 of department D4, but this D4, so it is the latest hire, let's assume that its hiring date is 8, but its department ID is not 1700, its location ID is not 1700, it's 1400. So what will happen? This E4 will be combined, E4 who belongs to department D4 and the hire date is 8 will have the location ID as 1400. So these are the 4 things which will be available at this point of time. This 1400. Okay. Now I'll try to write on the left hand side, but this time it's okay. So you just need to understand, for this the location ID is 1700, for this location ID is 1700, for this location ID is 1700, but for E4 location ID is 1400 because the department to which employee E4 belongs to is location ID is 1400. Now you can actually see that in this tuples of this natural join, there are multiple tuples with the same department ID. So you will club all these tuples of department D1 together. So it's a group of department D1. This is a group of department D3. This is a group of department D4 and so on. So you have created 3 groups of departments, D1, D3 and D4. So why not D2? It's not necessary. So you have just started a department, but there is no employee of this department. It's perhaps possible. So don't worry about that. Okay. So let's see. So what will happen here? So from here, once you have performed the natural join, that is, once you have performed this natural join, you will eventually group them into departments. Now, from those departments, you will choose the department whose location ID are 1700. From those department, you will choose the department whose location ID are 1700. So you will choose this group of department D1 and you will choose this group of department D3, because in department D4 the location ID is not 1400. Therefore, these 2 groups will be selected. Now what will happen? Out of those groups based on the department, you will choose the department ID, whichever groups are selected based on this where clause. Whichever groups are selected based on this where clause, from those groups you will select the department IDs of those groups and the maximum of the hire date of those groups. So what will happen? From this group of department D1, you will select the department ID D1. So you will have department ID D1 and you will also have the maximum of the hire date. So what is the maximum of the hire date? Maximum of the hire date for department D1 is 4. Maximum of the hire date for department D1 is 4. So you will get a column D1, 4. You will get a row D1, 4. Now E3 is also selected based on the where clause, that is department location ID 1700. So for this group of department D3, the department ID is D3 and there is only one employee. So that number itself will be the maximum of the hire date. So you have selected this tuple as well, right? So you can see the latest employee who is hired is of department D4, who is hired at date 8, but he is not getting selected because he is not from location. He is not from location 1700. So you got these two tuples d1 comma 4 and d3 comma 6. So what will happen? What will happen? Because of this inner query, you will get the department numbers. You will get the department numbers who are from location 1700, and you will get the highest, or you will get the maximum of the higher date with respect to those departments. So here you will get 2, here you will get 4. Clear? So you have got all the department IDs. You have got all the department IDs of location 1700 along with their maximum higher date. Now what will happen? Now from the employee table, in whichever tuple department ID and hire date is in this set of tuples, so you will actually do what? Sir, we will first take the first tuple. In first tuple, department ID is D1 and hire date is 2. Department ID is D1 and hire date is 2. Is this D1 comma 2 is present in this set of tuple? No sir, here D1 comma 4 is present, but D1 comma 2 is not present. Therefore this tuple, for this tuple, this where condition, for the first tuple, this where condition will be false. So because this condition is false, the last name and the hire date of that tuple will not be produced. But what will happen? For this second tuple of employee, department ID and hire date are in the set of this inner query D1 comma 4. Therefore, with respect to this employee E2, whatever its last name will be selected and the hire date 4 will be selected and will be produced as an output. So last name will be selected and hire date will be selected and it will be produced as an output. Clear? Now what will happen? For the next tuple E3, that is D3 comma 6, here department ID comma hire date is D3 comma 6. Do we have D3 comma 6 in this set of tuples? Yes sir, D3 comma 6 is in this set of tuples. Therefore, with respect to E3 also, last name and this hire date 6 will be selected. What will happen for E4? Sir, E4 will produce D4 comma 8. D4 cannot be present in this set of tuples because D4 is not at location 1400. Therefore, D4 comma 8 is not in this set of tuples. Therefore, for this tuple with respect to employee E4, where condition will be false and the last name and the hire date of this employee E4 will not be selected, right? So can you actually see that this query is working fine and this query is working fine and this query is actually producing the last name of the employee and the hire date of the employees who are from the departments which are at location 1700. So you just need to understand this inner query is producing what? This inner query is producing the IDs of the department and the latest hire date with respect to those department IDs which are at location 1700. Clear? So this query is working fine. If you want to display the last name and hire date of all the latest hire in the respective departments in the location ID 1700. So in this tuple, you will only as the result of inner query, you will only get the department IDs which are at location 1700. So you don't need to worry about anything else. Clear? So yes, it executes and it gives the correct result. But if you do not use this group by clause, then this query will generate an error. Why? Because you cannot use an attribute in the select clause along with the aggregate operation until that attribute is not present in the group by clause. You are not allowed to do this. Is everything all right? Let me just check. Yeah, it's working fine. Okay, so the correct answer is option B. Now let's look at the question number 4. It's comparatively easy but requires the same type of understanding. The understanding related to inner query concept. So in NIELIT, they have only asked the questions related to independent nested queries. Independent nested queries. They didn't ask the question from correlated nested queries. Correlated nested queries are more fun in solving. So what will be the answer for this? The employee information in a company is stored in the relation employee. So here this bar is represented, that means name is actually the key. Name, sex, salary and department name. Consider the following SQL query. It says select department name, select this from employee table where sex of the employee is male. You need to group the table by the names of the department. Now, this having average salary of that department greater than the average salary from employee. So this is one tip. This is something, the options. Let me first give the glimpse of the options. So it is saying that what is the return? It returns the name of the department in which the average salary is more than the average salary in the company. It returns the name of the department in which the salary of male employee is more than the average salary of all male employees in the company. The average salary of male employee is more than the average salary of employees in the same department. The last one is the average salary of male employee is more than the average salary in the company. So what is, you can actually take a screenshot of this and then you can look at the query. So first take or just note this down somewhere and then look at this query. Very easy concept. You just need to see this. So whenever you are confused and you are not able to give the answer related to questions of SQL or relational algebra, just try to construct a vector relation based on which you can conclusively say that what will be the output of this query. So there is an employee, so there will be a name. So there is nothing about name of the employee. So let's say use it as E1 is the name, E2 is the name of another employee, E3 is the name of another employee, E4 is the name of another employee, and E5 is the name of another employee. Now let's see. E1, this is a male, this is a female, this is also a male, is a female, this is also a male. Now the salary is, let's assume here it is 220, it is 40, it is also 20, this is also 40, this is 60 will be too much. So let's see, let's make it 20. And the department name is D1, he is from department D1, is also from department D1, is from department D2, is from department D2, is also from department D2. So let's assume only 2 departments. Now let's try to understand that what is being produced by this query. So it says consider the following SQL query. You need to select the department name. From the table employee. This is your table. So from here you need to select the department name. But first of all, what you need to do? You need to select the names of the employee where this condition that sex equals to male is satisfied. But before that, where will come in the last? So first of all, you need to group this results, or you need to group this tuples based on the department name. So this 2 tuples will be part of group D1 and this 3 tuple will be part of group D2. Clear? Now what will happen? So having clause. So wherever group by clause is used, having clause will the having condition will be applied on the group only. Having condition will be applied on the group only. So it is using group by clause. Therefore, this having average salary will be applied only on the department. So first of all, you need to calculate the average salary of department D1. So there are two employees. One is 20, 40, 20, 60. So 40, 20, 60 divided by how many employees? Sir, 2. So is average salary 30 with respect to this query? Is average salary 30 with respect to this query? Sir, sex has to be equals to male. So from the department where sex is equals to male, so from the department D1 where sex is equals to male, what you need to do? You need to check the average salary of that employee, right? So here the average salary of male employees, not in general the average salary. What's being done? You need to calculate the average salary of male employees. So here only one male employee is present who is E1. Therefore average salary of this male employee will be 20 by 20. Sir, I'm in third year ECE students are given and scored 12 out of 100. How should I prepare? Rajshri, you gave GATE exam with ECE branch or computer science branch. Okay, so the average salary of male employee of department D1 is 20. What is the average salary of male employee of department D2? So only calculating the average salary of male employee. So average salary of male employee of department D2 will be, sir, this is 20 plus 20, 40 divided by 20. 44 20. But it's actually checking that where average salary of the male employee is greater, not equal, is greater than the average salary from employee. So here it's an inner query which is independent query. It is not dependent on anything else. It is actually calculating the average salary from the employee table. No matter whether employee is a male or female. From this query, we will only get the average salary of the company. That is 20 plus 40, 60 and 20, 180 and 80, 40, 120 and 140. So this is 140 divided by 325. 140 divided by 5. So it will come out as 24. So the average salary is actually 24. Average salary of the company is 24. Sorry, ECE, and now I should I prepare for GATE 24. And should I join? Rajshri, if your marks were 12, then first you need to understand that how well did you prepare when you appeared in the GATE 2023 exam. Did you try your best? If you already tried your best and you got 12 marks, if you tried your best at your level and you got 12 marks, then you actually need to join some coaching, right? If you have randomly appeared in the GATE paper and scored 12 marks out of 100, then no one will be able to guide you anything until you yourself judge that what could have happened if I prepared sincerely, right? So, I mean, if someone is not preparing from the GATE point of view and appearing in the GATE exam and getting 12 marks or 15 marks is not the criteria to define whether he will be able to score more than 65-70 marks in the next year examination or not, until that person who want to identify this know that how well did he prepare and how much effort he has already put in to score those marks which he has already scored in the last year GATE exam. So that's the most important thing. You cannot simply conclude something based on the previous year marks, because perhaps you didn't study anything and you got 12 marks and you didn't know anything about the concepts of the subject which may be asked in the GATE exam. So study of a university exam is completely different from the study of the GATE exam. You may know all the things, you may know all these small concepts, but you just need to understand that how those concepts can be combined together to solve a more complicated problem. So that's the idea. Anyway, so I cannot simply tell you that because of this 12 mark, what should you do? Perhaps some other time you can give me some more intuition that how well did you prepare when you appeared for GATE 2023 exam, and I will be able to guide you in a better way. Okay. Anyway, so let's look at this question first. This inner query will only produce the average salary of the company. This query will produce the average salary of the company. Now from here, you will eventually get the average salary of the male employees of department D1. So it's 20. Average salary of male employees of department D1 is 20, whereas average salary of company is 24. So is this 20 greater than 24? No sir, 20 is not greater than 24. Therefore, this D1 will not be selected in the select clause. Similarly, for this D2 also, average salary of the male employee is only 20, which is again not more than the average salary of the company. Therefore, the name of this department D2 will also not be selected in this select clause. But if at all, if I make this employee a male employee, let's do this. If I make some correction that this employee E4 is also a male employee, then what is the average salary of department D2? Sir, 20, 20, 40, 40, 80, 80 by 3. It's 80 by 3. So this is 3, 2s are 6, 26 point something, 26 point something, and you actually understand that this time if you do the calculation, average salary will remain 24, because when you are calculating the average salary, you did not worry about the male employee or female employee. You did not worry about the male employee or female employee. In this case, the average salary of the male employees of department D2 are more than the average salary of the company. Therefore, with respect to this department D2, this condition will be true. With respect to this department D2, this having condition will be true, and have both the name of department D2 will be selected. So it will produce what? It will produce the average salary of the name, it will produce the name. It returns the name of the department. It returns the name of the department in which average salary of male employees, here average salary of male employee is only 20. Here average salary of male employee is 26.3, whereas average salary of the company is 24. So average salary of male employees of department D1 is not more than the average salary of the company. Therefore, name of department D1 is not selected, whereas average salary of the male employees of department D2 are more than the average salary of the company. Therefore, name of department D2 is selected. So which name of which department is being selected? It is selecting the name of department whose average salary of male employee is more than the average salary of the overall company. Not here it is saying average salary of the more employees is more than the average salary of employee in the same department. No, this inner query is not related to the average salary of the department, right? Here also it is saying it is more than the average salary of all male employees. No, here we did not use average salary from employee where sex equals to male. If here we write where sex equals to male, then option, if we write where sex equals to male, then this option B will be correct. We simply wrote the average salary from employee, so we know the average salary of the company, right? So with respect to that, the correct answer will be option D. Correct answer will be option D. I studied aptitude and 2 subjects done, but I am thinking to enroll for online classes because, see, expensive or something, for now it may be expensive for you, but year after preparing for the whole year, if you are not able to score enough marks, and if you can think that I could have scored more marks if I joined some class, if I had joined some class, then it will be more expensive. That's the idea. See, I should not say this, but the students must understand that there's a difference in terms of money and in terms of time, where your complete year is at the start, then you should not be thinking in that particular way. So anyway, I mean, no matter what, whosoever has scored and whosoever has achieved under 500 rank in the GATE 2023 exam, at least 95% or more than 90%, 95% of them were enrolled somewhere in some institute. So if you think that you can be among those remaining 5%, then it's a different thing. But if you actually want to utilize your year, then you should think in a different way. Okay guys, so this is the option C. So this is just the schedule of the app classes which are going on the application. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. we are going to discuss, tomorrow at 9 a.m. we are going to discuss the concept of lattice and Hasse diagram. So if you are interested, kindly join the session. Okay, so that will be all. Thank you very much. So this is it about the concept of SQL, and I tell you, all these questions, this question is from previous year GATE questions, but asked in NIELIT. This question is also a previous year GATE question which has been asked in the NIELIT. There is also a previous year GATE question which they asked in the NIELIT exam. So most of the questions which appear in the NIELIT exam are actually from the previous year question papers of GATE only. So if at all you are sincere for NIELIT exam or ISRO exam, then try to understand, at least try to remember the answers of all previous year questions. It will save some time. You may solve the questions, but if you try solving those questions while giving the examination, it will kill some time. So if you can remember the answer, and if you can analyze this is the exact same question, provided if you can analyze that this is the exact same question, I have seen it in the past and this is the answer, it will save some time in the NIELIT exam. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying, I'm completely in contrast of this when it is about GATE exam, but for NIELIT and ISRO, I can say so. Okay. So that will be all guys. Thank you very much. If you like this session, then hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification of the upcoming videos. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care. Good night.